Alright everyone, welcome back to the Motive Anatomy. Today we have Manny. Manny, thank you so much for making the time for us, man. I really appreciate it. And yes, it's an RSX.
Yeah.
I kind of like them. We'll see. We'll see after this video how I feel about them. Tell us, man, what do you drive?
So I drive a 2002 Acura RSX Type S.
2002. So like walk us back. I mean, how did you get started into the whole liking cars, modifying them, etc.?
So it mostly started when I was like younger, like really young. I say like in the youth age. My dad
youth age? How old are you? Are you 50 or what?
I mean, I'm 23 now, but I mean,
okay.
Like it started since I was like young, you know.
There's a 50-year-old out there thinking like, dude, 23?
This guy's like 40.
You're still a baby, man. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I started when I was like pretty young, you know. Like I said, like 5, 6, 7 years old, you know. My dad's always been into cars. He's always like kind of showed us around. Nothing like crazy, but he would take us like to like drag racing events, car shows, you know.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it was never like specifically imports. It was just like American muscle, trucks, off-roading, you know, like any type of like really automotive sport. We were just always into it, you know. So it just mostly started from there, you know. And obviously as you grow up, well, for me at least, just went from there, you know, getting into experimenting different cars, you know, different scenes, you know, so on and so forth. But yeah, it mostly just started like with my dad, you know, kind of getting me involved in such an expensive hobby from the get-go.
I swear, man. Yeah. So what was your first car?
So you'd be surprised. My first car, I was 17, no license or anything. It was a 1982 Toyota Corolla, bone stock, 100%, front to back. It was cool, you know. It took me to my job, you know, because I did have that car, you know, transitioning outside of like, you know, graduating high school, I guess you can say. So you know, it was pretty cool to have, you know, at first driving it around, getting used to the stick shift, you know, life, and then from there I had a 2001 4-door Integra. I did have that for a year and a half.
Oh, so what happened to the yellow one?
So I actually sold it because I wasn't like the biggest fan.
Okay.
You know, and I was already 18. I was like super hyped about like.
Do you regret selling it?
More or less. Okay. You know.
I was just wondering, curious. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, yes, you wouldn't. Nobody thinks like, oh, I'm gonna keep this car. It's so, you know.
Yeah, and I liked it because, you know, it's like an old school classic. You know, I was kind of like aware of what it was at the time, but not enough to actually like, oh, let me hold on to it and keep it forever, you know. And you know, and plus I was like 18. I was young, you know. I was dumb, you know, and I really wanted. At the time, I already knew Hondas existed, so Honda for me was just kind of like, I want one, but I don't know what I want. Okay, gotcha. So that's when I, you know, unfortunately decided to sell it. I did make some money off it. You know, I still ended up selling it for super cheap, but, you know.
And still made money out of it.
Yeah, because I picked it up for $1,000, fully running, AC, the whole nine. You know, like it was, you know. I guess you can say the more you think about it, I do kind of regret it, but at the same time I don't.
It sounds like you are. okay. So then, what is the next car that you move into? You said?
I did get a 2001 4-door Integra.
Nice.
So I did have that for a minute. You know, I did experience a lot of like in the car scene. You know, as many people start, you know, I was kind of like a little bit of a racer. You know, start from the bottom up, and then, you know, as I started getting myself out there, I started learning more, you know, like OEM parts, or, you know, kind of experimenting the scene, you know, going to enthusiast car meets. I ended up finding this for really good deals, so I ended up picking up this, where I'm at now with my RSX. So here we are.
So I don't see it 4 doors. Yeah. I don't see automatic. All right. So you pick it up. Did you like them to begin with, or just kind of one of those things that, hey, when you know, Craigslist fine, and why not?
So mainly it was because my brother, he had one when I had my Integra. So he had one, and he like kind of just pressured me. He's like, "Oh, dude, they're cheaper than the TSX. Just, you know, look into it. You know, you might even like it." I'm like, "All right, cool." Looked it up, found this one for like $3K, super cheap, you know. And I picked it up because I was like, I needed a car at the time because I already like sold my Civic. It was like long gone at the moment. So I picked it up, and I was like, you know what, I actually like it, you know.
You already picked it up. What do you have to say? You liar.
I mean, it's not that I really had a choice, but I was looking for something like newer, you know. You know, not that I don't.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Just because everybody gives me crap about not liking RSXs.
No.
Because one time I skip over an RSX, and all of a sudden I don't like them.
You hate it.
Yeah. So you pick it up. What was the vision for it? Aside from the fact that it was supposed to be a daily, but after you start modifying, you get over that hump. What was the vision for it?
So primarily it was to kind of, because at the time the paint was kind of rough, you know, like on the roof, on the hatch area, you know, on the pillars, it was kind of rough. So I was like, I'll just paint it, throw some nice wheels on it, because it was on springs when I first bought it. So it was, you know, it rode pretty nice. But I was like, just paint it, throw some nice wheels on it, and you know, just call it a day. Just have it nice, simple, and clean. And that didn't last too long, clearly, you know. But you know, here it is.
Sweet. Let's get in it, man. Tell us about the front end. What do we got going on?
What's nothing too crazy. Just as far as, like, I have a Greddy lip that's unfortunately cracked.
Well, you drive it, right?
Yeah, definitely. So that's a Greddy lip. I got some Aero Catch hood pins. Unfortunately, these are not Type R headlights, so don't bash me, you know, because I get asked a lot. They're like, "Are they Type R headlights?" No, they're not, you know.
That's a second dislike. Yeah. One for being RSX, two for fake lights. Okay.
So, but I mean, as far as the front end, it's pretty simple, you know. Nothing much going on at the moment. It's just a gritty lip. I like the aggressiveness. It's kind of subtle, but like aggressive, which is really kind of like my style overall. But yeah, man, it's nothing too crazy going on in the front end.
And what are the plans for it, the front?
The front end, I do plan on going perhaps either getting a whole one-piece aftermarket bumper or even going 0506 front, because I really like how that flows. The 0506 front with the 0204 rear, I just think it looks kind of nice. And, you know, potentially getting maybe a vented hood, or, you know, just a different style hood. Nothing too crazy, but just something, you know, kind of just to, you know.
Once the turbo goes in.
You'd be surprised. I'm in all motor, guys.
You say that, but then you're gonna be turbo. Okay. And then side skirts?
So these are the 4-inch PCI side skirts, and yeah, I mean, I like them. I actually had them on my coupe too. You know, I've always kind of liked the style. It looks really aggressive. You know, nothing too crazy, but it also kind of gives and makes the car look a little lower too. So that's another thing. But yeah,
definitely. Suspension, tell us what you're working on, man.
So as far as the front, these don't have a camber arm, so it just has a bolt. But I am running the Godspeed Model Max coilovers, you know, all around. And those been holding up super great, you know, super nice. I like it for, like, you know, driving it out with some friends, going on cruises, and also for like track performance. Dude, they're great. Honestly, it's the best bang for your buck in my opinion. A lot of people have like mixed emotions as far as coilovers, what's best, what's not good, you know, but I think these things are awesome, you know, man.
And then braking system.
So right now I just recently upgraded to this. So it's the Wildwood 4-piston brake setup, I guess you can say. The brake setup.
Wheel?
Yeah, so it was
caliper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a nice upgrade from stock. You know, I was having a big of like brake fade issues my last event, so I was like, and I actually picked these up for super cheap. You know, I got them powder coated. Shout out to Izzy again and Chris from Velocity. And yeah, I got them powder coated. You know, because they were a little faded, kind of. You know, they didn't have much love to it. And yeah, I mean, that's as far as the front end for the brake setup. And so far, I like them so far so good. You know.
What kind of pads are you using?
So it's actually with these, I'm actually just running just the Wildwood pads. Okay. That comes with the setup. You know. But so far, I mean, they're pretty good. No issues yet, thankfully.
Love the 2-piece rotor, man.
Oh yeah,
so nice.
That's one thing I'm a big fan of. Yeah, actually, you know, it kind of gives it like a different look for some reason. You know, that's one thing that did catch my eye for sure.
And then wheel and tire setup, man. What do you got going
on? So at the moment, I do have some raised gram lights, the 57 CRs. They are 17x9 plus 38 with the 255/40 squared setup all around.
Nice and beefy.
Yeah. So that was a nice upgrade, because I was previously running 235s.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was like, it looked good, but it was just not for my style. And I've always been a big, you know, it's always been a big thing with just having a fat tire, let's make it fit. So I was like, you know what, let's do 255s all around, and here they are.
And that's a square setup, so.
Yeah, it's a square setup, yeah. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with them so far, you know. And they've been doing pretty great, especially with these, the RT660s. There's the new tires, you know, they recently released, I don't know how long ago. And they hook.
They look nice too. They have a nice pattern.
Thank you.
All right, let's make our way to the back. What do we got going on in the back, man?
So as far as the back, it's I want to say it's nothing much crazy. I just have the, you know, like the Type R wing, the, you know, Type R rear. I actually picked up this bumper. It's a whole Type R rear bumper with the OEM lip, and this is also don't bash me, but it's a Jay's Racing Replica's diffuser.
They're just like,
I know, they're like, they're like this guy. You know, it's just something, it's kind of like a vision I always had planned, you know, like I really like how it looks, you know. Not many people, I guess you can say, really step out the box. So whenever I see something that's different, it kind of really attracts me, you know. So this was kind of me just kind of putting this car to my taste, you know, really.
Since we're in the back, tell us a little about the exhaust system.
So I'm actually running a whole, so it's a whole custom 3-inch exhaust all the way to the rear to a Kakimoto axle back.
Ooh.
So I actually got it, my buddy Steve sold it to me for really, really cheap, you know. And yeah, I actually had a Jay's Racing before. I liked it, super loud, super nice, you know. But I was just kind of getting over the aggressiveness, you know, especially with the crazy drone from a Jay's Racing, especially and including that 3-inch. So it was just kind of like getting to my head over time. And I just wanted to, you know, switch it up. And so I found this, and I was like, oh, you know, I did some research on it. And you know, they're pretty rare to come by.
Manny, tell us, what are we going on in the cockpit, man?
So I do have Buddy Club P1C. As far as the seat, I do have the Cusco side B pillar bars. I also do have a auto power half cage or roll bar. Let me see. Also hybrid racing shifter paired with the spoon shift knob, spoon steering wheel. Type R cluster that I actually do like a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, nothing fancy, I'd say.
It looks very nice and very clean, by the way.
Thank you.
I really, really like that seat. Definitely sits you a little bit lower than the stock seats.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was like, especially for my height, because I'm like 6'4", so it's like, I need to find
6'4", we're the same height right now. And I'm like 5'2". All right, no, okay, gotcha. Any future plans?
Interior wise, I probably just say swap out the seat. I've been having that seat for quite a few years. So, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it. You know, if I'm lucky enough, probably get like a set. You know, both driver and passenger side. But other than that, I think just a seat for now. You know.
Okay. Let's see what we're working with. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's just ignore a bit of a filth, but yeah.
So what are we staring at, man?
So it's the original K20A2 motor. No, nothing crazy going on at the moment. You know, it's just has the basic bolt-ons. It is tuned. You know. Nothing crazy for now. Like I said, it's just, you know.
For now, yeah.
Woo. I am working on a side project, so that's why I'm just like, yeah, just for now, just to kind of get by, have some fun, you know, with some friends, you know.
It's more than enough power for you at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's awesome. So let's talk about the bolt-ons. First of all, let's talk about the coolant. What kind of radiator do you have?
So it is a Mishimoto radiator, the full size, of course. And this was actually a Spoon radiator cap, but it came off when I spun out at Streets of Willow. So when people see it, they're like, what is this? You know, it just says made in Japan, but they're like, there's no logo, there's nothing. So
I don't know about that, man.
That's the backstory to that.
I don't know about that, man. fake headlights. I don't know. It's probably a fake one.
They're like another dislike.
Okay, well, what kind of bolt-ons are you
so it's just, you know, so it does have an RBC manifold, skunk tooth throttle body, Canon Carbligo intake, DC race header, and then the full cat back, I guess you can say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just something, nothing crazy.
And did you upgrade your injectors?
Yes, I did. So I am running 1,000cc injectors.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so
no overkill, you would say? No?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I need the fuel.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, but I kind of get bashed on it because they're like, oh, it's just a bolt-on. Why are you running 1,000ccs? Well, it's because before I got this car tuned, I was planning on building the head.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I just want to have a bigger injector just to have the extra, you know, space to play with, really, you know. So that's the reason I got those. So right now, you know, I'm actually doing a whole motor on the side, you know.
That's a big secret. Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
For bigger powers. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Are you doing K20 or K24? Or Frankenstein?
Frankenstein.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then what kind of turbo are you going with?
Nah.
That's what they all say. Just wait.
All right.
Just wait. Okay. So you said it's been dyno, right?
Yes, it has.
What kind of numbers, if you don't mind sharing?
So it did make 248 wheel, and it made, I believe, 170 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. If I remember correctly, as far as the torque. But yeah, I mean, it's super fun, super reliable. Haven't had any issues, and it is on full E85 as well.
Ooh.
So that's also, you know, it's pretty nice. You know, I like it so far. You know, as far as like a fuel efficiency, it's really not that bad. I know a lot of people are like hesitant, but it's really not that bad.
What do you mean not that bad?
I'll put it like this. I went to Malibu and back home, like cruising speed, legit cruising speed. I got it over 300 miles, and I reset my cluster full tank in the whole night.
Really?
I was like almost at empty when I got home, but it just proves that you can really daily on E85 if you don't have a heavy foot, you know. But most cars that are on E85
have a heavy foot.
Yeah, have a heavy foot.
There's a reason why they're in E85.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Yeah.
No.
It's not, you know, the best if you can't find E85 somewhere though. But,
yeah.
So, what's the plan then? Wait for it till it blows and then you can slap in the other one, or you're just waiting to finish the other motor and slap it in, or?
Yeah, that's kind of the moment. You know, I'm not really rushing the side motor right now. I'm currently getting the bottom end done first. So I'm starting with that because I'm gonna slap on this head from this motor onto that block. But yeah, it's gonna. The plan is to have it fully built.
Wow.
You know, I'm looking to shoot. My goal is with this, since I got it from the beginning, you know, going back, it wasn't a project, but now it is, you know?
It's a project. It's about to get worse.
Yeah, so my goal was, at first was like, oh, I want to make close to 250. You know, I'm kind of there. So
you're there already.
Yeah, so I'm just
kind of.
Yeah, so now I'm just like, I want to make 300 wheel NA. I was like, to me, that's I think that's the perfect street car power for an NA setup. So, well, we'll see.
All right, Manny. Well, thank you so much, man, for making the time for us. Yeah, I kind of like the RSX. I'll say out loud, you know. I'll put it out there. No, I actually really like them, and it goes to show you that really basic mod to get you there, because the motor that it already comes with, it's a pretty nice motor.
Yeah,
so,
it's a really great platform in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's like people just kind of, you know, people are people. But thank you so much for making the time for us, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Any shout outs?
First and foremost, you know, shout out to my wife, you know, for being so supportive on this. You know, sometimes she hates it, sometimes she loves it. So, you know, big shout out to her. Shout out to all the homies from the IE. You know, we don't get much love, but shout out to all the homies from the IE. Jordan, Tony, Creepy, the Hatch Attack boys, all the guys from the 60 Rolls group chat. You know, really anybody that's, you know, really helped me out, you know, kind of put this car together over time. Shout out to Velocity Powder Coating for always helping me out with my needs, you know, even though I'm annoying. You know, just, you know, everybody in any, you know, that really helped me out, answer any questions, you know, lay their hands on the car, supplied me with anything. You know, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all RSX owners. There we go.
All 25 of you out there.
All 25. It's like all 6 RSXs in the
all 6 RSXs are actually running.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I like how if the wife watches this, you cover your end. Everything was cheap. Everything was a good deal.
Affordable.
So that's pretty smart. Affordable. Yeah. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you just making the time out here. I really like this car. I really do. I think it's the perfect mix of a streetable race car.
Yeah.
In my end, it looks very comfortable, but yet very aggressive. And I mean, it's a very well balanced car, man. So kudos to you, man. Seriously. And I can't wait to see you at more Cars and Coffee and apparently track events. I'll stop by.
Definitely.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise.
It's a great looking fucking car, man.
What happened?
It's a great looking car.
Thank you.
Sounds like you were having fun out there.
Oh, dude, I was smiling like the whole time.